Another strategy that can be used to add decimals is to use base 10 blocks and base 10 grids. So I'm going to show you how to do that by adding to add 3 tenths plus 45 hundredths plus 73 hundredths. So using base 10 blocks first, I would start by modeling each of the 3 add-ins. So 3 tenths plus 45 hundredths plus 73 hundredths. And now what we would want to look at immediately is if any of these tenths can be grouped together to make one whole. And we would see that we should have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of these tenths can be put together to make one whole. So I would trade 10 tenths for one whole. And then I would have 4 tenths left there, which could not be traded for another whole. And then I would add the hundredths, 5 hundredths, plus these 3 hundredths. We would have 8 hundredths. And so then that would mean that the sum is 1. We have 4 tenths, and we have 8 hundredths. So 1 and 48 hundredths. Let me show you what that would look like on the base 10 grids. When you're using the base 10 grids with students, one thing to remember is to encourage the students to shade in the numbers based on place value. And so I would begin with the tenths, well, you would begin with the largest place value. And in this case, the largest place value in each of the numbers is the tenths place. So I'm going to go ahead and shade the 3 tenths from here, the 4 tenths, and the 7 tenths. So I have 3 tenths, since the 4 tenths come from another number, I'll use another color to represent that. So 4 more tenths. And then we have the 7 tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And so now that we've shaded all of the tenths, we can go back and go ahead and shade the hundredths. So we have 5 hundredths to shade and 3 hundredths to be shaded. So I had shaded the 45 hundredths in the, or the 4 tenths of 45 hundredths in the blue. So I'll shade the 5 hundredths from there in the blue as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the 3 hundredths from the 73 hundredths here. And now we would have the whole number modeled. And so we would look here and see that we have one whole. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths shaded in. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hundredths. So that would be 1 and 48 hundredths. Students can use base 10 blocks and base 10 grids to subtract decimals, and we're going to use 2 and 3 tenths minus 1 and 95 hundredths as an example for that. So the first thing students should do when using base 10 blocks is model 2 and 3 tenths using the blocks. And so I have 2 and 3 tenths modeled here. Now we see that we need to take away 1 and 95 hundredths. So we could go ahead and take away one whole, and we would have dealt with that. And then now I see that we would need to take away 9 tenths. I only have 3 tenths here, and so what I would need to do is make a trade and exchange the one whole for what it's equivalent to, which is 10 tenths. So that would be 10 tenths. Now we have 13 tenths, and we can take 9 tenths away from 13 tenths. So 3, 6, 9. And now from that we have 4 tenths left, and we need to take away 5 hundredths. So I will need to go ahead and trade one of these tenths for hundredths in order to subtract those 5 hundredths. So I went ahead and made the trade, and now I can go ahead and take away the 5 hundredths that's left to be taken away from out of the 1 and 95 hundredths. take those 5/100ths away. And what we have left are 3/10ths and 5/100ths. That would let us know that the difference is 35/100ths. Now, that can also be shown on a base 10 grid. To do that, students should go ahead and shade in the number that they are going to subtract from. So they should shade in 2. So 2 holes. And then the 3/10ths. And then what they do to show subtraction is we go ahead and cross off what we are subtracting or taking away. So first we would take away 1 hole. So I'm just going to put an X through 1 hole. That's been subtracted. Then we would have 9/10ths to take away. So I would count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be representing 9/10ths here. So I would cross out those 9/10ths. And then what I have left to subtract are 5/100ths. So I would cross out 5 of these hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we just need to, in order to determine the difference, determine how much is left shaded. So if I look here, there are still 3 whole tenths shaded in. So we have 3/10ths. And then here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/100ths still shaded. And so that means the difference is 35/100ths.